there as well because there was a lot of things that we were going through, as a family. And even when we went to Des Moines, there was things that, was happening in my life that I couldn't understand why God was allowing it. I couldn't understand why God allowed me to lose my children. And because I was raising them in church, I thought we was a godly family. But it wasn't what I thought it was. It was me just not, I would say not in the will of God. But when I lost my kids, I just felt like my whole world fell apart. And I carried that guilt for a long time. I let it eat at me to a place where I really didn't, for as life was concerned, I lived a life, but it was just going through the motions. I went to church, and I was in church, but I was going through the motions. And I was just so thankful that when I lost my job working at Sprint, and Monique had started coming here to New Destiny, and she said, Mom, you want to go to church? And I said, well, not really, because I was going to church, but I really wasn't interested in going to church. And I got back into church and really, put myself, and I said, God, I'm going to live like I'm supposed to. I'm going to follow God. But I still had a lot of reservations in my life. I still had a lot of reservation in my heart. And I had to have God to remove those. And the only way that you can get that done is by hearing another word. And you can be in church and you're not getting fed. You're not going to be, it's not going to clean anything out of you. And I'm just so thankful that we are in a place where we hear the word of God. And we can have that word applied within our hearts. And I'm so thankful that I know when I got my life together, the Lord started bringing in my children. Even though they were in church as well, like, Monique, she was in church with me, and she was actually here before I was, but her life still was, there was things in her life she needed to clean up as well. And me trying to be their friends, I didn't want to push the word of God on them. I prayed for them all the time, but I wouldn't preach to them like I should have. Sometimes when I got fed up with them with certain things they were doing, I would try and say, hey, you need to be doing this or this. And, and they'll turn around and turn it back on me. Well, you ain't doing it. And so, and when they was telling the truth, though, I wasn't. And I'm just so thankful that I'm here and I have my family here with me. And I'm so thankful for that because if God hadn't have moved me here, my kids wouldn't have been here. If I'd have stayed there, in my own sorrow and self-pity about what was going on, we would probably still be somewhere, only God knows where, probably, in my depression, in his drunkenness and whatever else they were going through or doing. But God knows best. And I just want to say,